Oh, hey guys, Patronix123 here, as always, for Smash Talk. Sorry about the awkwardness. I was busy, doing something a couple seconds ago. But, that doesn't stop me from, introducing the topic of this video, the new veteran that was announced today, at least at the recording of this. I'm hoping it's being, released on the same day. But who knows, maybe it'll be the next day. Anyways, it's Meta Knight. So yeah, Meta Knight. If by the way, before I start talking about Meta Knight, if my voice kind of sounds weird, it's because this is the first time I'm using headphones to really record myself on the computer. I just want to see how that all works out. But anyways, getting back to Meta Knight. Now, as you could probably tell by like my little intro thing I gave there, which was exaggerated, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Meta Knight, at least in Brawl, was considered to be super ultra mega awesome god tier, as in like all the best players at the game. They all played as Meta Knight. He was the super competitive character that it was very hard to beat. You needed to have like know the character inside and out to even like beat him. And it just made a lot of competitive Brawl not fun to watch and not fun to play, and that's why a lot of people didn't like playing competitive Brawl. When it comes to casual, Meta Knight still definitely is the best, but it's not as big, seeing as how casual is just, casual. It's not as big a deal, I guess. So, when it comes to me, when I was mostly a casual player when I first started playing Brawl, because well, my whole Brawl experience is a story for another time, another Smash Talk. But, Meta Knight, he just, whenever I would play as him, I never played as him too much, because, like, when I played as him, he felt mindless, as if, like, I didn't even need to really try to play as him. He just had a bunch of moves that you really kind of could have spammed, and then you would win a lot of the time. It's like, you really didn't need to think if you were playing Meta Knight a lot of the time, and I really don't like that, especially with a character that's so, like, cool and calm and collected, like, kind of like Meta Knight. I feel like he'd have more of a complex kind of style, like a Fencer or something, kind of like Marth, but different because he's Meta Knight. And, but Meta Knight, whenever I do look at him, he brings me back right to when I was, when Brawl was being announced, because he was technically the first newcomer, and he was just really cool and all that. And we haven't heard much about him, except for the fact that he is getting nerfed, hopefully. I mean, we have heard that, when he does his uppy, the shuttle loop, it doesn't go into a glide anymore, so that's a good nerf, because that used to make Meta Knight so even more OP, because gliding was just an OP ability, and with Meta Knight, it was just super, just really good. But anyways, looking at Meta Knight's screenshots here, starting from the first one, which he's on Halberd, which if you had seen the Nintendo Direct, you would have known Halberd was back. And Meta Knight, just kind of looking at his model here, it looks very, very nice. And it looks very similar to Brawl, except you can kind of see his arms in some of the other pictures, not particularly this one, but like certain other pictures you can see his arms a little bit and all that. And plus he has these little metal gauntlets on his hands, and that looks really cool. But besides that, he looks pretty similar to Brawl. I love the next picture where it's showing him on Final Destination with Kirby, and they're just having like a little duel, just like kind of charging at each other. In the next picture, it shows Meta Knight using Dimensional Cape on Mega Man. Now, is it just me, or does Meta Knight really even have a cape in this one? Because I know he has in his picture, like his profile picture, it shows his wings more prominently, which look an awful lot like Ridley's, by the way. I just seemed to notice that while I was doing my things. Did he steal Ridley's wings? But anyways, I haven't noticed a cape on him though, but I guess that's just me. Dimensional Cape was a cool move, but it needs to be a bit refined. The next picture in the lineup is my favorite. It shows Meta Knight like with the Final Smash glow before he actually like activates the Final Smash. And with that,
he just looks so menacing. Like, you could see, like, pupils, all of the metallic parts look so much more shiny. He's all cool looking. He's in the Punch-Out arena, and everything's all dark. Meta Knight just looks so, like, amazingly cool in that picture. It just looks great. In the next picture, it shows him, it's either just, it's just a slash. I think it might be a forward tilt on Samus, which, it's just another attack from Meta Knight, just showing Meta Knight attacking as usual. Then the next picture shows, him using what looks to be his, side B, the Drill Rush, on Mario and Yoshi in Final Destination, which, Drill Rush wasn't the most useful move of Meta Knight's, but, it's still, everything with Meta Knight kind of needs to be nerfed, because he was just so amazing overall, and with the shuttle loop thing I mentioned earlier, it seems like they are gonna nerf him, and that's what they should do, because I don't want him to be, like, super nerfed that makes him bad. I just want him to be on the same level as all the other characters. The next picture, it's a really cool throwback to Marth, Meta Knight, and Ike in the Subspace Emissary when they all teamed up to get the Ancient Minister and fight the Golem guy and all that other stuff. And it's a really cool throwback. The next picture is pretty interesting, where it shows Meta Knight and Kirby battling out Palutena Kirby, Meta Knight's holding Star Rod. But more interesting about this picture is the stage they're on seems to be that Elite Four stage, and we haven't seen too much of that. And we're getting new information from this, basically, where you can kind of see Garchomp, Hydreigon, Exew, and Dragonite in the background. And I'm just wondering if they're just going to be there kind of like the Animal Crossing people in the Animal Crossing Smashville Town and City stage, whatever it's called. And, or if it's going to be like Dialga and Palkia in Spear Pillar, where they come in the background and come from the background and attack you, or they'll do different things like flip the screen. But since there's so many of them, I feel like they're just going to be background elements, kind of. I don't know. Moving on to the first 3DS screenshot. Besides the little metal thing on his hand, he looks pretty much just like Brawl in this. Like, I still don't see the cape on him. If any of you see the cape, tell me. I mean, I'm pretty sure in Return to Dreamland he didn't have the cape, and that would make a bit sense of why he doesn't have it, but I don't know, Dimensional Cape for his down B, he has that, so I wouldn't see why he doesn't have his cape. And in the final screenshot, it just shows him attacking a Waddle Dee in Smash Run. And, that's basically it for the screenshots. I mean, overall, with Meta Knight, I am pretty excited. I mean, even though I wasn't the biggest Meta Knight player, simply because of how mindless and really how good he was, that kind of turned me off, because you didn't really need to try. I definitely am excited, especially if he's getting nerfed, and he is an incredibly cool character, especially in his own series. Like, I love playing as Meta Knight in Meta Knightmare Ultra, in Super Kirby Superstar Ultra, and I hope he takes off his mask at some point. Like, I don't know, because we saw his Final Smash thing, but, like, if he doesn't have his cape, who knows what his new Final Smash could be. It could be, the Mach Tornado thing, but, like, the super one from, Kirby Superstar Ultra, which I think would be a really cool Final Smash, as opposed to what he has now. I mean, Galaxia Darkness is really cool, but if he doesn't have the cape, then how are you going to do Galaxia Darkness if you don't have the cape? So, it's just, overall, Meta Knight's shaping up to be a great character looking, just as always, and I hope that he can be used more competitively. And when I say that, I don't mean that he'll be better, per se. I mean that you'll actually be allowed to use him, and he won't get banned in tournaments. Because, man, Meta Knight, you're broken. You're broken, son. You're broken.
So yeah, that's gonna about wrap it up for this episode of Smash Talk, episode 4. I know in episode 3, I said the next one would be about newcomers to the game that have been announced so far, and I never really got to that, seeing as how I just had stuff to do. I mean, I gave you Unprofessional Smash Brothers in the time between that, and I had that stupid little skit thing I uploaded this Monday, but, things just happen. But next time, hopefully, next time will be about the newcomers that have been announced so far for the game. So for now, everyone, just have a good day and keep on smashing.